I see you on the inside. I don't know what that means,
I don't know what that means.
but it's deeply emotional and touching to me.
Okay. That's just weird.
I think we're live in 3, 2, 1. Bango.
Yeah.
Good evening. I truly hope, ladies and gentlemen, that you are ready for an exciting and soon to be a classic edition of the whatever the heck it is that we do here.
I don't know what we're doing.
I don't know what we're doing. Hi, guys.
Jan. Hi, Bandana Grandma.
Hello, ladies. How are you? As I pensively stroke my beard. So you guys are it. That's it. It's no. We were gonna cut it off.
Okay.
That's not true.
Hi, USC Kiwi. Hey, Phil.
Hey, Phil. How's it going? We're gonna kind of stall out for a little bit here until we get some folks coming on, guys.
Yeah. T. Teresa Flory.
Supposed to be in the 40s tonight, low 40s. We lit up the fire.
Yeah. It was rainy today.
It was yucky.
Kind of damp and overcast, so it was just chill.
You know when you get that wet to the bone feeling?
Yeah.
Even though it's not, really, really cold out.
Right.
It just gets under your skin.
It's supposed to be 78 for a high on Saturday.
I think I caught that gnat.
No, you didn't. It's right there.
It's still over there. That gnat is going to taunt me.
Hey, Farmer Meemaw.
I'm like Miyagi. I'm going to snatch that gnat. Nope.
Nope, missed it. Heather's here.
I missed
Trent
it.
And Frank. Cockeyed's here.
Hi, guys.
Heidi.
Hey, Rain Country House.
Aw, thanks, Heidi. We got our
yay.
We got our first batch
What's up, Big Bear?
of
James, Brad, Laura.
Grandma squares, granny squares.
Chips ahoy. Ahoy. Maybe it's ahoy.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Suzanne from Belfast.
Cool.
I have a confession to make, though. I like U2, the band, but I'm not like a huge fan of U2. I'm sorry. I'm not filled with rage or hatred. They haven't put out a good record in a long time.
Mm-mm.
But the one they did, it was banging.
I think it's funny because you like all the older stuff.
Oh yeah.
What was that one record that I really liked?
You liked Elevation.
Yeah.
Or no, was it All That You Can't Leave Behind? I think that's the one you liked.
No, it was the record that had Elevation on it.
Yeah, I mean all the older stuff, the Unforgettable Fire.
Beautiful Day.
Oh, that yeah.
That's the
just an amazing band, but I don't like it when bands get a little bit older and they kind of just sit back on their laurels and go, hey, we got like 25 hits, it's cool.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, moving on. How are you guys doing tonight? Let's see what we got going on. Cockeyed redneck working? Ha ha ha.
No. Cockeyed, they had a pipe broken. She had to dig it up.
Oh no.
Yeah. Oof.
What's up there, Homesteading with Dutch? All right, here's the thing, guys. This is what I had planned because we kind of jumped around and we didn't really take the technical journey from point A to point B in a way that I thought was really logical because we were hanging with people that some people knew stuff and some people didn't know stuff. And so it was like, oh, let's talk about microphones. Or, oh, let's talk about lighting. Right. And all of those things are important, but I think that we've kind of neglected just the basic raw basics of how to do a YouTube channel and how to get video from point A to point B so you can communicate your message. Right. And so we're going to do that for most of the evening tonight, and then we're going to open it up for whatever tech questions you have. It can be about anything you want. And hopefully we'll end up talking about analog synthesizers and the fact that you want to send me lots and lots and lots of them because I love them. I can't even play keyboard, but I love synthesizers, and they're hard to find. What are you going to do? So anyway, basically we're going to start out, guys. Nice hat.
Jason says we should talk about him.
I can barely fit him into the screen. I can't. Oh, embarrassing. Awkward. Here's a tiny giraffe. All right, let's talk about something else. All right, so.
What if I only have a face for radio?
Well, it's not stopped me. It hasn't stopped me. Okay,
Nice.
sounds like some Frampton talk, like Peter Frampton, huh? Uh-oh.
Mm-mm.
See, I actually know that. I know that music. So here we go, guys. The bottom line for today is we're going to just blaze right over the top of absolute basics.
Mhm.
And the way you got to start, guys, figure out a way to one thing. This is really, really important. When you go to get your YouTube page, when you're like, I think I want to make YouTube videos, you got to get the page and the Gmail account. You don't have to have the Gmail account, but trust me, it's
Worth
important.
it. Hmm.
You got to get that before you even start making videos, because if you don't have that secured, what are you going to title your videos? What's the name of your channel going to be?
Hmm.
And the way I do this, okay, here, I'm going to take this piece of paper. This would be an exercise for me, because if I am going to start a YouTube channel or a business or a website or anything online, there are some things that you have to have in line.
Hmm.
And number one, the .com. If you cannot get the .com, reconsider the name you're trying to name your business,
Hmm.
YouTube channel, anything. Because I don't care if people say, oh, well, .net is blah, blah, blah. Oh, .biz. Everybody types .com. That's just how it is.
Right.
And that's how we're conditioned. And right now, that's the reality. It may change, but it's now the reality. So if you cannot get the .com, reconsider what you plan on naming your YouTube channel.
Right.
Then the next thing you're going to do, even if you don't ever use it, guys, is you're going to go and get your Gmail address. If you can't get this and you can't get this, your name is a non-starter. That's in my book.
Hmm.
And I'm just telling you, because the thing is this: when you start making videos and you start literally branding yourself, guys, you start branding yourself, people are going to go here and they're going to go here. And if you go here, this is going to attach
YouTube.
to that. If you don't have this trifecta of your name, then you might want to reconsider what your name is, because it's that important.
Hmm.
Because let's just say that you go, well, I'll just make these YouTube videos and it's great, whatever. But you never go get the .com. What happens then if all of a sudden your YouTube channel starts to blow up?
Right.
And you're like, oh my gosh, people want this, and that from me, and they want this. And if I would just put up a website, it would make everything 10 times better.
Hmm.
But somebody went out and bought your .com.
Now you have to pay a ton of money to even
Or,
get it.
or what's worse, rename yourself.
Ugh.
That is the worst ever.
Hmm.
Because if all of a sudden you've got some degree of success, like for example, our channel is not massive at all. We're on the low side of middle in terms of YouTube recognition.
Right.
We have some recognition, but we're not really great, and we're definitely not big. But we have some degree of recognition. It took us a year and a half to get here.
Hmm.
Okay? A year and a half of making videos every day. A lot of the time, 2 videos a day.
Yep.
Now, let's just say this. What happens if all of a sudden somebody went out and bought bigfamilyhomestead.com? That'd be devastating.
Hmm.
That would absolutely be devastating, because then your business, your brand, you cannot grow any further unless you do one of 2 things. You pay them off, which is exactly what it is.
Hmm.
You can say, well, I'll give you $5,000 for that .com.
Right.
You either pay them off, or you go, I gotta change my name. I gotta stop. I gotta change my name. So neither of those is a good option, guys. So now Those are the three things that you have to have before you consider making a video. That's just my opinion, but I've been in music, I've owned recording studios, I've owned video production stuff. These are the things you have to have. And if you're let's say you've been making videos for a while and you got like 150 subs and you got some views, but not a lot, and you don't have all these three things, this is where you may want to consider a name change if you don't have these three things.
Right.
Don't get to 3,000 subs, 5,000 subs, and then go, oops, somebody owns that name.
Right.
Because if somebody owns that name, you're in trouble when you start getting bigger.
Right.
You guys follow? Does everybody follow?
Right. Bandana Grandma's asking, GoDaddy, personal, business plus, I would imagine. Can I use personal for my YouTube channel name? A personal email?
So I'm not sure what she's asking because you can get a domain name in anything. I'm confused if she's asking about web hosting, because at this point you don't need web hosting at all. You just have to secure the .com. You got to buy it. You got to buy the .com. That should not ever be more than $14 a year.
Right.
Ever. And JM's asking, where do I get my .com? And that's really kind of a source of tension, because I have a lot of stuff through GoDaddy, but they don't advertise in a way that I think is very honorable.
Right.
And so I'm switching over to a different company called Bluehost, and but I'm in the process of it, so I'm just, there's full disclosure, guys. There's full disclosure. Is I get mine through GoDaddy just because it's cheap. You should not have to pay more than $15 a year to get your .com. There's a lot of places you can go, and do your research, guys. I've been buying .coms for 20 years, okay? So I've got a long list of stuff that I have. I probably have 25 .coms, most of which I'm not even using, but you're like, this is such a good name, I don't want to get rid of it.
Right.
And that's the thing. Think about it like this. What if you were somebody like a Wrangler star, like 2 years ago, and you're like, I'm never going to have a website. I'm Wrangler star. So I got my YouTube thing going, and then somebody goes and buys wranglerstar.com.
Right.
He is in payout city, because now that he's making lots and lots and lots of money, they're going to be like,
lots of money.
20 grand.
If not
20 grand,
right.
And they paid $15 for it.
Right.
Okay. So just be wise. Before you even consider making a video, get these three things. Get the .com, get your Gmail address. This is really important, because when you get your Gmail address, you get a YouTube account that's attached to it now.
Right. Right.
But it has to be unique. It has to be unique, okay?
Yeah. Full Spectrum Survival says, and if you don't want to create a website just yet, you can forward the domain directly to your YouTube channel. Then when people type your .com, it takes you to your YouTube page.
That is correct. That's exactly right. And a lot of companies even just do that now, because why would they, if you don't need to have a big full-blown website, but you still need to have a presence. You see, here's the thing, guys. You have to think about it like this. You're going to be putting videos out, right? Those videos are going to have names. Those videos are going to have metadata, so that when people go to Google and they type it in, if Google goes, this is something you should look at, it's going to pop up in Google. If you don't have a place for it to go, you can do like Full Spectrum is saying, Brad over there, and you can make it so that when they click on your website, it goes to your YouTube page.
Right.
So JM, Bluehost, HOST, Bluehost.
Jane is asking, if you can't get the .com, would .net be okay if you just don't want to change the name?
I would say if you're stuck on the name, .net is better than nothing. But just keep in mind, .com is the gold standard.
Right.
It is the gold standard, guys. Think about how you surf the web. And that's the bottom line, you know what I'm saying? Think about how you surf. What is the thing you do? You don't go, I wonder if it's .us. No, you never think that. You don't ever think if it's .cc.
Or .tv.
It's always .com.
Right.
And so, yes, if you cannot get rid of your name in the way that you're just like, I can't give my name up, then .net is fine, but understand that whoever owns that .com is going to get your traffic. That's the important thing you got to remember.
Right.
Whomever owns that .com is going to get your traffic, a lot of it, because most people are not going to think to type in .net. They're just not.
No, and if, I mean, obviously, if it's an organization, you always go .org. You know, that's a given.
Well, kind of.
I mean, for a business or a YouTube thing, it's always .com.
Black Mesa says, and many times you pay extra for a good .com name.
Yeah.
Yes and no. I agree, yes. But if it's an original name that has not been registered before, you're going to pay your $14 a year or whatever it is, you know? So, but there's the starter, okay? And I'm gonna have to move on because we're already 15 minutes into it and we haven't even talked about the first thing outside of techie. Well, outside of naming.
Right.
So these are the 3 things that you have to have before you even start. .com. You get your Gmail account. That means your Gmail email address, okay? Because when you get your Gmail email address, you're automatically going to get your YouTube account. All you have to do is turn it on. Okay? There's the thing. You just have to turn it on. And those are settings that you're gonna have to work your way through, guys.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff. Yeah, wait, Danny B, a great example. Free program paint.net does not own paint.net. True, right. True. And so .com, see, here's the thing. .com is the reality now. Like I said, that may change. But right now, that is not how people are conditioned to think.
Right.
So if you choose .net because you don't want to get rid of your name, understand that you are going to sacrifice traffic. Okay? That's that. Now, moving on. Once you get your .com, once you get your Gmail email account,
then you can set up your YouTube.
Then you can set up your YouTube account.
All right. Mark is saying he doesn't understand the whole Google YouTube connection.
Google owns YouTube. They're 2 different companies. Google owns YouTube. For example, well, no, it's as simple as that. Google owns YouTube. They're both tech companies and they work together. They used to be like this. When Google bought them, now they're like this. Okay? They do have distinct branches that stay with YouTube and stay with Google, but they work together. Some don't work together very well at all, I will say. But they work together. They're a blended company. Think of them as maybe a remarriage divorce situation.
Right. Okay. So he said that I understand, but does it have to be connected?
No, they do not have to be connected. Okay. If you have another email that you want to associate with YouTube, you can do it. There are other hoops that you have to jump through, guys. Like if you own, let's say, for example, that years ago you bought a .com for your name and didn't know what you were going to do with it. And now you've got, I'm a sneaky rock star.com. And you want to have Brad at sneakyrockstar.com as your YouTube email address. You can do that. You can do that. And it's completely legit. It's just you got to jump through a bunch of other hoops, and it's not nearly as integrated. But you can do that. And that's what big companies do. It's just I personally don't have the time to manage so much tech. I mean, right now, we're dealing with, oh my goodness, I deal with 5 different email addresses every day. And holy jeebers.
I have 2.
Well, and we get through the YouTube page there, we get hundreds of comments that I respond to. I read them all, guys, just so you know. I read every single one, and I respond to the ones that I feel like we're needing responded to. Then we do a devotion, like a Bible devotion thing in the morning, which is a live thing. Then I do an actual video during the day. Then we deal with our daughter Grace's whatever health issues are on the table for the day. So we're kind of busy. That's
kind of.
That's why you've got to really figure out a way to manage your time. Because trust me when I say this, YouTube can be a black hole of your time if you're not careful. You have to really, really be careful, so that you're not just spinning your wheels and wasting your time in a way that's not going to benefit your channel. I would say the only worst black hole, I just bit my tongue again. Oh. Owie. I would say the only worst black hole of time that I know of, other than YouTube, is Facebook. And Facebook is worse. It's so worse because you don't actually have a whole lot of content. It's all just like flash this. Look at this headline. Look at that this. Look at these likes. Look at this thumbs down. And the problem is, with all your effort, you're spending all this time and all this effort. How much money do you make off Facebook?
Well, and that's not the only one. There's Instagram, there's Twitter, there's Snapchat.
And yes, I understand, guys. Yeah. Yes, I understand that all the social media work together and you build the brand. And I totally get that. But what I'm saying is that if you're not careful, if you do not set boundaries, you are going to spend so much time wasted that is not going to benefit you, not going to benefit your brand, not going to benefit your channel, not going to benefit your family, and is just going to be wasted, vented out time. Bad. You've got to be careful. You got to set boundaries.
Right.
Okay.
Buy domain first, then go back and add hosting later? Question.
Buy the domain. Yes, Jen. Yes, Jen. Yeah. You can buy the .com, guys, and not do anything with it. You can buy it and sit on it for 5 years, but make sure you secure it. That's what's important. Because if you don't get this and you just happen to get this, I would actually honestly start here. See if you can get your Gmail account first. The reason why is it's not going to cost you a penny.
Right.
See if you can get the Gmail account first. If you can, then go get the .com. If not, scrap it and start over. Because it's not going to cost you anything.
Right. Right. Lonely Prepper says that they made a lot on Facebook, but not by posting, only advertising.
Like what, with ads? I don't understand.
I don't understand what he means by that. What they mean by that.
I didn't realize you could put ads on your Facebook account.
And it locks in your. Wait, hold on.
What? You got to read it out.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out where the beginning part of that comment is.
If someone does buy it out from under you, they aren't using it, you can purchase it from under them. You can try. Well, here's the thing, guys. As long as you pay, okay, if you register a .com, .net, .anything, you own that address. Think about it like this. It's an address. It's like a P.O. box, okay? It doesn't matter if it's .com, .net, .anything. You own it unless you decide you're not going to pay for it. Right. If you decide you're not going to pay for it, somebody else can come in and go, you didn't pay for it, I'm buying it.
Right.
And then they do.
Right. Oh, Lonely Prepper, yes, by posting ads across Facebook. Okay. Is buying a .com a one-time fee or a yearly fee?
Yearly.
It is a yearly fee, yeah.
Yearly.
I mean, you can get them. It's as cheap as.
It's like $15. I've seen it as low as $8 a year. And the thing is this, guys. I just went to Bluehost. They want what?
What?
No way, Mud Pie.
That's
no,
for web hosting.
That's gotta be for hosting.
That is for.
That would be insanity.
Yeah.
And I would be the first one to go, leave, run away.
Right. I think that's just for hosting.
That's got to be for hosting. They probably are doing like a package deal where you get like, oh, email and this and that and that. You don't need all that.
No,
you don't need all that.
Yeah, you can, Chris, you can buy multi-year and save some money.
Somebody is pending payment right now on my name. Seriously. That's probably true. It's sad, but it's true.
Oh my goodness.
And here's the thing, guys. This is a true story. I have a friend who years ago I'm sorry, my throat is just killing me.
Want some water?
Maybe let me get a little bit instead of the apple juice.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I had a friend years ago who started this band, and he was a really talented guy. And his band was called Copeland, like the composer, Aaron Copeland. But he didn't buy the .com, Copeland.com. And I just told him, I was like, dude, if you don't buy it, I'm going to buy it. It was $10. I'm going to buy it. And then when your band gets signed, I'm going to sell it to you for 20 grand. Because the record label is going to pay it and you have to have it. I was joking, of course.
Right.
And what I did was I got him to buy it.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can do that all the time. As a matter of fact, guys, this is kind of a funny thing. There have been other folks. I'm sorry.
And if I knew what he was going to say, I'd say it, but.
There have been other folks who have seen how successful the Homestead Network and the channels are that is happening, that have been in the planning stages of trying to duplicate it and copy it. And I found out some of the names that they had, and I went and evil bred researched the .coms, and they had not bought the .coms, and I was going to go buy the .coms and make them anonymous so that they would not even know who bought them. Right. So that they would be all this work in, and then they would figure out, oh, poo, somebody owns the .com.
Right.
I didn't do that. As a believer, as a Christian, I decided that would be a hateful thing to do, and I decided not to do it. But that's fair game out there in the world, guys. That's how business is done, and people can do that. But I didn't homesteading with Dutch.
No,
I didn't. And you know what? It's the right thing to do. It's if somebody offers you guys a better product, good for them. If you don't, that's the beauty of the internet, guys. It's a big place. Every one of you channels, and this is absolutely truth. Every one of you channels out there, if you've got content you want to put out, do it. Because you know what? I don't care if you're putting out the same idea. Let's say that you have canning videos. Well, so what that there are another 100 channels doing canning videos? You know what? So what? You offer something different than every other channel. It's like bands, you know? People listen to a certain musical group because they like it, right? So, for example, Hope's Homestead may put out some gardening video that I did exactly the same thing, but they like hers better.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. Cool. Good for you. Honestly, good for you. And so don't be discouraged because you have a voice. The internet is a very big place. And I would encourage you, do exactly what God's telling you to do. Right. You know what? Just do it. You have a voice, right? Oh. JM. Yeah, I hear you. if whoever's out there,
that would mean somebody did it here.
No, that is wrong.
Or somebody here did it. No.
If somebody has honestly put her name in a shopping cart, I would ask you, please do the decent thing and just take it out.
Right. I can't imagine.
Because we'll go through every list. I will go through every name personally, and I'll find out who did it. I know how to research IP addresses, and just don't do it. It's just not good cricket.
No.
Anyway, so that said, we spent 30 minutes on how to get a name. Now, actually, we should talk a little bit more on that name. I did a bunch of research recently on how to name your YouTube channel or your online business. Mm-hmm. Checked out a bunch of marketing gurus, and the advice, which I thought was very interesting. Everyone engages with other people differently. So yeah absolutely. Linda's Pantry is 100% right. She does cooking videos, and she's really, really, really good at it. Mm-hmm. But there's a billion other cooking channels out there. But she has an audience.
It's the personality.
She has an audience.
That it draws people to that personality.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, I could make the same video that she's made, and people maybe like, what the heck is he doing? And they're like, this is the best video ever for Linda's Pantry.
Right.
That's just the fact of life, right, guys. It's like bands. It's like music. Mm-hmm. You may say, I like country music, but I hate you.
Well, and she tagged us in her pizza video.
And we need to get one of those. We're trying to get one of those.
We have yet to get one of those cast iron.
We don't have one yet.
We don't have one yet.
And we want one. But I digress.
When we get it, then we'll do that.
So, yeah. Anyway, there's the point, guys. I'm sidetracked.
Sorry.
No. YouTube.
Your name.
Name. Oh, how to name, guys. No, you can't do that, Brad. I don't know what that means.
I think maybe there's buffering, and might have been talking about the getting those web.
No, I wouldn't do that. I would never do that. I would never do that. Bro. I thought about it. I actually went on the site and was like, Mm-hmm. I even put it in the shopping cart. Mm-hmm. Because I was just like, this is going to mess them over so good, and they won't even know who did it. And then Jesus went, what are you doing? What are you doing, you stupid fatty? Come on. You know I love you. Why would you do that? Yeah. Right? Uh-huh. And so I went, fine, Jesus, I'll do what you're asking again. Anyway. So naming, that's important, but other things, guys. Oh, talking about canning.
Oh, funny.
No. Google says, and marketing gurus say, that if you name your brand, your site, your YouTube, something that is unique, it'll be harder in the beginning. And then once you start to grow, it's a lot easier. It's like a hockey stick. Because think about it like this, guys. I'm just seeing Big Bear Homestead. How many homestead branded YouTube channels are out there? Gotta be hundreds. Big Family Homestead, Big Bear Homestead, all these homestead this, homestead that. Mm-hmm. So, in a way, we're all competing for the term homestead.
Right.
Now, you compare that with somebody like Dirt Patch Heaven. Mm-hmm. And she has a unique brand that she doesn't have to fight with any of us over. Not that we're fighting. I'm not saying we're fighting, guys.
And it's not even competing either.
No, but the point is that if you can come up with something unique, then you're going to, like I said, the way they said it is it'll be harder in the beginning because you're going to have to make people understand what it is.
Right.
But to be fair, we're a Big Bear Homestead over 7 years. That's immaterial, bro.
Right.
That's completely immaterial. The point is that there are hundreds of other people that have the name Homestead in their thing. So they're all going to come up in search criteria.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Anyway, so
Old Ways, New Times is asking, is our name okay? Yes, I think it's a great name.
Actually, I think it's a fabulous name.
Yeah, I do too.
I don't know.
No,
Maybe shop in the country.
And Steve says, I wasn't anywhere near Elberton.
Point is, guys, if you can figure out a way to be somehow unique in the naming convention, then you have an edge. You have an edge over everybody. For example, one of my favorite new channels, and he won't even return my phone calls, so I'm not getting credit for this, okay? This is because I genuinely like the channel, is Gridlessness. That dude is funny. He's awesome. And how about that? Who's nobody's competing with the name Gridlessness.
No.
Nobody is.
No, that name is fantastic.
But if you were like Southern this or Texas that, there's going to be a billion others in your genre that you're going to be competing with, even though you're not competing with them.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Right.
Are you guys following?
Right.
Or am I
Lonely
just
Preppers? They've got it. I target 2 search terms: prepper and homestead.
No, I got you. Yep. I got you. But by the same token, now everybody else who has prepper and homestead in their name is also competition with you.
Right.
That's the point.
Right.
If you came up with, I don't know, lonely blah something, like I said, it's harder in the beginning because people don't know exactly what you mean until you start building a brand. But once you build a brand, now you've separated yourself from everybody else.
Right. Right.
For example, Domino's. Everybody knows what Domino's is. If you live in the United States, you know what Domino's is. It's a pizza joint, right? But they don't brand themselves as Domino's Pizza anymore. They brand themselves as Domino's.
Right.
Because they need to start separating themselves because they're not just selling pizza anymore.
Right. They sell sandwiches and
some
pile of chicken nuggets, and it looks really weird.
And you know what? Here's the thing. In all honesty, guys, all of this stuff is just the traditional thought on how to do this, okay? If it's working for you and it's not this, do it. Just do it. Ignore the conventional knowledge and go for it. It worked for Apple, right? It's worked for a lot of companies, right?
Right. Flatlander Homestead said Sergeant Prepper's Lonely Homestead Band.
Winning.
That's awesome.
Winning. That's through the uprights. Winning. Right. One of the best records ever made, ever. And probably will be, because Russia's knocking on our door and we don't seem to mind, and we just like poking the bear.
No politics.
I'm not gonna. Sorry. Done.
No.
Done. Simply Circus. They're really a circus. That's funny. That's hilarious. Funny. I like mud and everything associated.
There you go.
Something tells me we're not getting much off of how to name your channel, and we're 40 minutes in. Oh, geez, oh, Pete's. Okay, well, let's turn. Okay, so once you've got a name picked and it works for you, okay, it works for you, you're going to get your Gmail account, even if you never use it. Then once you've got your Gmail account, then you're going to get your .com. If you cannot get the .com, you go, nope, and you go back and get a different Gmail, okay? Right. Then, once you've got these two things, all you got to do is do a few clicks, and then you have that, okay? That is when the real fun starts, okay? That is when you can say, all right, I'm going to fight with YouTube on trying to figure out how to put up channel art. Because now you have this blank canvas, right? No, it's Led Zeppelin. That's funny. Because once you get this YouTube channel, right, you've got this thing, you got your names all set up, you got your .com, perhaps future talk on how it all fits into internet marketing, yes. And by the way, I've owned SEO companies, and Yes, it all works together, guys. It all works together. And if you don't, that's why I'm trying to tell you, this is how you do this. Because if you don't, what'll happen is if you don't get the Gmail account and you go to get your .com and you can't get it, everything else below it is going to be messed up. And what'll happen is you'll be like a year down the road and you have 300 videos in, and then poof, you got to either choose between paying somebody off to get your .com or whatever, or renaming your channel and taking your channel down 50%.
Right.
That's it. When it comes to marketing, I can help. I'll be my marketing promotion company. There you go.
Yeah, that's Nicole.
So, anyway, Miss Zelda says Google means godless. Well, yes, Miss Zelda, but doesn't all business kinda, I guess? Yeah. I mean, we're all here, and I don't know about you, but I try to use these tools to spread the word, and I use these tools to spread self-reliance, and I use these tools that are free, mind you. And yes, they manipulate it, and yes, they do things that I don't like, but we learn to function inside it, right? So that we can make a change for the better. Yep. And that doesn't mean we're bowing to anybody. It just means that we're working inside the system, like in the Matrix. Aha. We're inside the Matrix. We're in the world, but not of the world, right? There you go. So. Yep. Okay.
I mainly work with veteran-based businesses and organizations, but do a lot with music too. Sweet.
Cool. And by the way, I would like to point out that Simply Circus has a new video up.
Awesome. I love that video.
And type out the exact title of the Simply Circus, please. Type out the exact title of that video, because he actually used a piece of music that I wrote, and I'm very flattered and thankful that he would want to use that. But it's a powerful video, and not because of anything that I did, but when you see it, you just got to see it, guys. It's a powerful video on, I would have to say, self-discovery, maybe.
Yeah, and the struggle inside, the
internal struggle.
Yeah.
So if you don't mind typing that out, it's called the Inner Battle
and the Strength to Go On.
And the Strength to Go On.
Yes.
So if you guys get 5 minutes, check it out, because it's a really, really good video.
Yeah.
I've noticed a lot of homesteaders speak about their Christianity. And you know what, Laura, I can only speak for myself, but I can say that I can't separate it.
No. It's part
That's how we live. It's how we live. So,
yeah.
Anyway, check it out. It's really, really totally worth the watch. And if not, I'll give you your double your money back guarantee.
That's right.
All the money you spent watching that video, right, I promise to give it back.
All right. Night, Papa Truck. Charge that phone.
All right. So it's quarter till, and we've only gotten to naming your video, or you're naming your channel.
It's okay. It could be a 4-part series.
Well, it might be more than that if I keep going. But okay, next thing. Once you've got all these names, once you got these names and you're good with how you want to have your brand, because that's exactly what it is, guys. You are unique to the internet, period.
Right.
There's nobody that's going to be exactly like you. It's just, that's how it is. And so you're going to start with a shell. Poof, I have all these empty canvases, guys. And that's exactly what it is. Now you've got an empty canvas of a YouTube channel. You've got an empty canvas of a .com that you may or may not use. You've got an empty canvas of a Gmail account, or whatever your email account is that you decide you want to use, okay?
Right.
Now, when you finally start to work with YouTube, do not be afraid to YouTube, how do I, and this is one of the worst things ever, I hated this, make channel art? Or what are the right sizes for channel art? Or pixels for channel art, ? Because it's not nearly as basic as you would think. YouTube will tell you in their help screens, here's the width, here's the height, and that's it. But then when you start uploading the art that you just spent an hour or 2 hours or 3 hours working on, you go, wait a minute. And then it like crops it to different sizes. You know, whoa, there's only like a quarter of my logo in there. What just happened? And what it does is it sizes it for like a phone, it sizes it for an iPad, and it sizes it for your screen. And if they don't all work right, you're not going to get your name in there.
That's right.
So as you're starting to populate your YouTube channel, here are some tips that I think are important for you to remember. Number one, don't be afraid to Google and or YouTube any of these questions because they've been asked hundreds of thousands of times before. And people have answered them. I will tell you, there are to this day, Scout's Honor, there are things about YouTube that I go, what the? Why does it work like this? It doesn't make any sense at all.
Right.
And I'll call my buddies. I'll call up like Tommy over at the Off Grid Nation because he's a smart guy. He's a computer guy. And I'll be like, what? Have you? And this is completely not my first day at the rodeo, right?
No.
I understand computers. I understand how to do this stuff. And sometimes they just do things that are completely not logical. But there is the absolute key. When you go, I don't, stop right there, type in your question. Because 9 times out of 10, you're going to get your answer in about 10 seconds.
Right.
That's a huge one.
That is insane. If you open a new Gmail account, you link the existing YouTube to it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, if you open a new Gmail account, you automatically get a YouTube account.
Right. There are some Gmail accounts that are grandfathered in. I think.
When I signed up the Christa.bigfamilyhomestead, then I automatically had a YouTube channel.
Yeah. Well, that's how it is now. It used to be different in the past.
Oh, okay.
And so just be careful. The bottom line, guys, is as many of these things as you can line up, get them lined up because somebody is going to try and take it from you. I don't care who it is. Somebody is going to try and take it from you.
Hope says, John said to tell you that your music was great. He would love to jam one day.
Well,
that's awesome.
I rock. Enough said. Someday you may rock. We may rock together. Yeah.
Stop. You're such a goob.
Hopefully you can rock in a way that I rock.
Can I use the music I want?
Just kidding, man.
Cockeyed wants to know if she can use your music.
Yes, and I'll tell you what, Cockeyed, here's the thing. YouTube is going to ding you.
Yeah, they're...
No, hold on, and I'll tell you what, because Simply Circus used one of the songs that I gave them permission to use, and I'm giving you all permission to use any of the music I give you.
Right.
Okay? I'm giving you all permission, but YouTube is going to go, hey, you don't own that. You don't own the copyright, and you can't use it. And that's exactly what they did to Simply Circus. But I said, tell them when they ding you, because they're going to say you don't own this copyright, you're going to say, I have written permission to use this copyright, blah. Right. And then they let them off the hook. And if anybody gives you garbage about it,
no, they're in an active copyright dispute right now.
They're in an active copyright. If YouTube pushes it, guys, I will send you a letter saying I own the copyright, I own the recording, I own all this stuff. Here's my information, stuff it.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll have to.
Right.
Because I'm not trying to make money off that music.
Nope.
That music is supposed to glorify the kingdom.
Right.
And so if you want to use any of it, use it. They're going to ding you, but you're going to have to fight it. You're going to have to say, no, I have permission to use this. And then if they give you garbage, I'll send you anything you need. I would love to take and write that out for you. Trust me, I would love to do that.
Yeah. Shan DeGlam was asking, how do you register a .com account?
Okay, Shan DeGlam. There are several websites, everything from GoDaddy.com to register.com to, there are several. All you got to do is type into a search engine, register.com. And there are going to be hundreds of websites that you can register a .com with. And what they're going to do is you're going to research what .com you want, and then you are going to like a shopping cart, like you're going to buy anything from, say, Amazon.com or whatever. You're going to put it in a shopping cart and you're going to purchase the address. And all that is it goes from year to year. And by the way, Shan DeGlam, you should have that.
Yeah,
and nobody better buy that, because I will straight up go medieval on you. That's hers.
So Rain just bought her domain name. Homesteading with Dutch just bought theirs. That's really cool.
And we're not making any money on this, guys. We just want you to be right. That's the thing. Because what's going to happen is if you start to have a successful channel, somebody's going to buy it out from under you, and they're going to try and extort money from you.
Exactly. So, earlier when you guys were talking about rock and rocking and
no, I'm sorry, he can't.
No, but
it's not possible.
Heidi said we salute you.
Fire. So anyway,
good
James,
a good reputable site.
Yeah, I get stuff from Bluehost. I get stuff from register.com. I get stuff from GoDaddy, which I'm straying away from. But they're cheap, and that's kind of why we go there. But this is really, really, really important. When you guys go to get your websites, your .coms, make sure, because this is a thing with register companies, they try to get you to sign up for like 10 years and 20 years.
Be careful what
make sure you're unchecking those boxes. Namecheap is a good one too.
All right. Bandana Grandma saying, I can't find domain through Bluehost, just the hosting information.
I think they do it all.
Do they?
But go to register.com, GoDaddy, Namecheap. There's a lot of them that are out there, guys. Yeah. And there's tons of them. And they all do essentially the same thing. They take your money and then they register your name with the ICANN. Well, that's actually going to change. It's the international way of, this is your address. There's somebody who manages that. And it's really just a big series of numbers, okay? But those numbers translate to bigfamilyhomestead.com.
Yeah.
Computers see them as numbers. That's the address. But we type them in as like IBM.com. How did you put the watermark on this live feed, Homesteading with Dutch? It's actually in YouTube. It's in your it's in branding. It's in branding, and you have a way you can put a watermark right in there, and you just upload your little pic, and that's that. So I think it might be in channel, but there's a tab, or not a tab. I think it's a pull out called branding. Hope's Homestead already taken with a .com. See, that's the thing. That's the thing, guys. And I know, where can a person find your music for videos editing? Email me and we'll send it to you for free.
Yep.
So just go to our about and then private message me, and I'll be happy to send any one of you a couple records that you can use and tell YouTube to stuff it. Some of it's okay, some of it's pretty shady. I don't know about that.
You're a turkey. Oh my gosh.
Okay, what's open? I don't understand what that means.
I don't know. Oh no, bandana just checked and your name is free. Open.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so.
Cool.
Yeah, poor Hope's gonna have to change her name.
Well, that depends. It depends on where you want to go with it.
Right.
And you know what? It's not too late in terms of your channel life, Hope, that you may take a hit. Mm-hmm. You may take a hit. It may go, instead of going like this, it may go burnt. But if you're thinking long term, it may be worth it. And you have to decide that.
Yeah.
That's totally up to you. Okay. And by the way, guys, one of the things that I think is so cool about this community of people, I hope you're seeing the names that are coming up and seeing the comments and seeing how people are trying to help you. Mm-hmm. I would challenge you. Write some of these names down, guys. Write some of these names down. And hey, if you have a question, ask them. It's clear that there's a lot of knowledge here. And I'm not just the only one sharing. You guys are absolutely part of this, right? Whoa, that's way, way long ago.
That is, but not this one.
I was just looking at the stream.
I don't know why that one is, but.
But if you see somebody and you can just basically like, hey, I saw your comment on blah, blah, blah. Do you mind answering this question for me? Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah.
And I would guarantee you 80% of these people will jump to help. Mm-hmm. That's just who we are. That's our group of folks. Grad, you may want to go ahead and write
permission and documentation. Yeah.
Oh, I'm already going to do it. Yeah. That's totally.
Yeah, we'll get that done.
For the info, I've been thinking. Okay.
Shandaglam said that you need to teach them more on YouTube.
Well, I thought I was going to get there, but we never got past naming.
Past that.
But
we can do that.
But all of this, honestly, guys, all of this was important.
Yeah.
Because what happens if all of a sudden you get there and you got 5,000 subs 2 years from now, mm-hmm. and then the foundation isn't there, right. And somebody sneaks in and steals something right out from under you, and you didn't even know you needed to do it.
Yeah.
This is foundational. It doesn't do you any good to build up a foundation on sand. It's going to sink. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So anyway, guys, looks like we got a minute and change before we go over to
full spectrum
survival. I can't do my radio voice tonight. I can't do my radio voice.
I've been coughing a lot tonight.
I know, it's the air. You know what it is we've been heating the house.
Yeah, it's really dry. Even though I've got a pot of water on the why did he put his phone number up there?
Because he was suggesting people calling for tech stuff.
Oh, okay. Well,
I told you.
Okay, no, that's fine. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we've got a pot of water on the cook stove.
Wood
I wish
burner.
It was a cook stove, man. On the wood burner. So it's dry out here.
Hoping It. That's a great name.
That's awesome.
Hoping It. Sorry, I'm buying the .com.
No.
Just kidding. Just kidding.
Oh my god.
But that's what I would do right away. I would be like, can I get hopeinit or Gmail? Then if you got that, can I get hopeinit.com?
Right.
If not, find a variation.
Right.
I hope this has helped, guys.
Yeah.
We're out. We got less than 30 seconds.
Yep.
See you guys. Have a great night. Bye-bye.